10 days alone across the remote Scottish Highlands. I've got a bike, a rough route I'm sure will end up changing along the way, and just enough audacity to believe this is a good idea. We'll see how accurate that is.
And we went along. Just keep biking.
Really hope this doesn't turn into a snuff film. But there's only one way to find out, so let's get into it. This morning I had a few people ask me where I'm going today, and it felt kind of weird and exciting to say, I don't know. I'm sure the anxiety will set in this evening when I need to try to find somewhere to camp, but right now I'm just so excited and it's so beautiful. The Scottish Highlands are otherworldly. I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park or something. Like, it's too gorgeous and surreal. As cute as they are, I try to always give cows their space because, one, respect other animals, and two, I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure cows statistically kill more people than like sharks or something. You don't want to mess with a cow.
Guys, I'm taking a video, but notice that I'm still moving. I'm not stopping. I'm not in your way. Not messing with your babies. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Be cool. Be cool. Thank you. So good to see you. Oh my gosh, I see a bothy. Let's go check it out.
Bothies were originally built in remote areas for workers, but now they're preserved by volunteers as free shelters for hikers, bikers, and other outdoor lovers. Anyone who can get to them is welcome to use them, so long as they do so respectfully. I still have plenty of daylight left and could keep riding, but staying in a bothy is a uniquely Scottish experience and one I don't want to miss out on. I am so grateful to be able to stay here, but also a little on edge. I'm definitely not going to pretend I'm some fearless person, because I'm definitely not. The idea of sleeping alone in a cabin, or potentially not alone, potentially with whoever comes by to also use this mountain cottage, it's a little scary. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some dinner and hang out with my bike fully packed up. And if I get any kind of icky feeling, just hop back on my bike and keep biking. But if it feels, like a tolerable discomfort, just that discomfort of being alone in a new place, then I'll spend the night here. Let's see how it goes. I've decided I'm gonna sleep down here. Even though upstairs looks nice and cozy, I feel like if I sleep down here, my escape is right there. I'm not trapped at the top of the stairs. Being a woman is so weird sometimes. It's like, you just want to enjoy the outdoors, but you're like, where are my exit strategies? How do I keep myself safe? Oh my gosh, I think I see someone coming. It's a girl. It's two girls. Two cyclists do arrive, and a couple more after that. We spend the evening laughing and swapping adventure stories. By the time the sun sets, this old bothy in the middle of the wild somehow feels like just about the safest place I could be. Despite what my initial fears told me, I wake feeling safe, well-rested, and honestly, pretty giddy after a night spent in such lovely company. I set off with two of my new friends, Lou and Jeremy. With the rain Scotland is prone to, the road is pretty flooded. Sometimes we go around it, sometimes we go through it, And sometimes I fail to execute either of those things. That was a full tumble into that puddle. Luckily, my bags are hopefully waterproof enough. We carry on. Let's just freeze frame for a second on that happy face, completely oblivious to what's actually just happened. But more on that shortly. We connect to a bikepacking.com route I'd been wanting to ride called the Pictish Trail, and get a very warm Scottish greeting. The hills are tiring, but the views are stunning. And to top it all off, we set up camp amongst some ruins, which is a bit of a long-standing bikepacking dream of mine. But the dream is about to take an unfortunate turn. Well, that little tumble yesterday unfortunately ended up being more than I thought it was. Water managed to get into my handlebar bag, and I didn't notice until hours later, and everything was soaked. The water got into the bag that I keep my passport in, so my passport is damaged, and water got into the port on my phone. It said it wouldn't let me charge it until it was dry, but it's been a while and it doesn't think it's dry enough to charge, so my phone's dead. For now, there's only one road out of here, and luckily I'm still with Louise and Jeremy, and they're also heading that way, so I'm gonna follow them on out and try to make it to the next biggest town and just take it one step at a time. I follow Lou and Jeremy out of this remote stretch and hop a train to Inverness, where I do what I can to try to revive my phone. Moment of truth. Wish me luck. I don't feel any kind of vibration or anything. It's looking like hope might be lost when I have wonderful news. Before I went to go get my phone repaired, I was like, you know what, let me just make sure that it's not the cord. And it was the cord. So I bought a new cord, which is absolutely thrilling. 4 pounds. 4 pounds, and my problem is solved. Absolutely wonderful. This does mean it's my third cord of the trip, but you know what? That's just fine. That's just fine. I am thrilled. So my phone is working again. I was ready to get paper maps to keep this trip going, but we'll save that for another adventure because my phone is operating, I can navigate again, so we can get back on the road. The passport is still a work in progress. Rested up and gear mostly sorted, the journey continues. We're back in the thick of it. Yes, Kimmy. I've taken to calling my commute Kimmy. Nice to feel like I have company out here, you know? After hours of well-kept trails and roads, the route throws in a little variety. Oh my god, it's a weedy one. Okay, I just need to do a quick tick check because they really thrive in long grass and wooded areas. And I was basically just like waist deep in a forest for, I don't know, like 45 minutes. So I've heard they can be really small, but I don't see any. The beacon of paranoia that I am, I'll go on to complete one more tick check before bed at the home of my lovely Warm Showers host. All clear. I notice I'm feeling a little daunted and overwhelmed today. I had a lovely stay with a Warm Showers host last night, which was so great. But I'm heading into the Cairngorms, which is quite remote. There's a lot of climbing. I don't know what the terrain's gonna be like. So yeah, feeling a little scared. Feeling scared. One step at a time, I guess. We are in the wrong spot, but that's okay. We miscalculated, and we went the wrong way. but that's okay. Ow. There's a fence between me and where I need to be. Between the anxiousness, wrong turns, and overall exhaustion, the doubt begins to creep in. But I've found when in doubt of one's ability to do hard things, a wee coffee in a cute town never hurts. Ah, sweet, sweet caffeine. Get all these little buggies hitching a ride. Hop on the Sheila Express. It's not such an express. It's actually pretty slow. They'd probably go faster if they flew themselves, but I can't make decisions for them. I feel like this is a classic example of why one should not get overly focused or obsessed with the metrics on the apps, because this looked like it was gonna be really intense, and yeah, it might get intense, but so far it's just been like a nice, gentle percentage incline, which is very doable. Big climb, big climb! Ah! Mostly pretty easy. Sometimes big climbs. Sometimes big climbs. Oh God, keep going. Nope. It's important to know when you need to bail out. I just want to give a little shout out to trees. You know, I've been in the Islands and Highlands for a few weeks now, and I just forgot how awesome trees are. I didn't forget, but you know, there's just, you're totally exposed, and now I have shade from the sun and shelter from the rain and just beautiful trees all around me. Miss them. I think this is where I'm gonna call it for the night. I'm getting more tired, and this seems like the best place I'm gonna find. I'm tucked down from the road, and I haven't seen anyone on the road. I think it's a forestry road, and I'm actually surrounded by a lot of cut trees, which is kind of sad. I feel like I'm in a little bit of a tree graveyard, but I think it's the safest spot for the night, so let's get set up. You know all those aesthetic shots that you see from like bikepackers and campers, and I love them. It looks so great. This is me. That I have completely taken over a 3-person tent myself. Explosion of stuff. And yes, I brought a 3-person tent, not because I needed a palace for myself, but because I didn't want to buy a 1-person tent. So use what you got, you know? And what I've got is a giant mess. It is so quiet here. Just the birds, the bugs, the wind. I heard a plane and I was like, what the heck is that? Because it felt so out of the norm all of a sudden. I have a fairly long ride ahead of me today. Long for me. But then I'll be in the Cairngorms, which I'm very excited about. So let's get going. there anything quite like riding your bike for hours without a soul around? The solitude is incredible, but the route eventually connects to a very tasty bit of civilization. My Warm Showers host explained to me that there's a lot of distilleries, whiskey distilleries, along here because of the river, so that's how they get access to so much water. And I want to go do a whiskey tasting, but that would not be responsible. Can't drink and ride. But one of these days, when I'm not riding, I'm whiskeying. I reluctantly pass on the whiskey tasting, but lunchtime is approaching. It has been quite drippy the last hour or so, and I'm a little soggy. So please excuse me while I eat lunch under this bridge like a little troll. Bike touring is so glamorous, glamorous. Oh my god, this bridge wobbles. Like it's supposed to. It's like one of those kinds of bridges. At least I think it's supposed to. As scenic as it is riding along the river and greeting the adorable sheep. What do we think I'm a farmer? Do you think you know me? You're looking sharp. The ongoing precipitation does begin to wear on me. I'm damp and my legs burn from all the climbing and I won't stop drizzling. So there's no point in even trying to wait it out because it's just wet. Everything's wet. Grumble, grumble, grumble. But I won't get dry standing here. I guess I'll keep riding. Bleh. Why do we do this, guys? Why do we do this? Okay, that's the way I'm supposed to go. But there's a bull. I think that's what you call a male cow, right? And a bunch of cows. Like, that bull is so big. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you guys go that way. When I came up, they were like right at this gate and they have run away, which is good. Because I did not want to go in there with that herd of giant cows. Okay, I think they're far enough. I'm gonna try to go through now. Really hope this doesn't turn into a snuff film. We're cutting through the field, nice cows. Nice cows. Okay, well they totally disappeared. That is great news. It's just muddy slop. Slop, I tell you. Okay, it's gonna be a bit of a push, but if I do another 25 kilometers, I can get to the only hostel in the area. And that sounds kind of nice, you know? I could go for a hot shower, dry my things. So I'm gonna play some good tunes, do one final push. But also, like, kind of pretty. Check out that mistiness. When it's rainy, I too often find myself sinking into grumpiness. But the more I look around, the more I realize this is pretty freaking incredible just as it is. My newfound rainy day positivity aside, I'm still absolutely gleeful at making it to a warm, dry hostel for the night. My body is feeling it. I got a kink in my neck. All my muscles are so tired. But today, the weather forecast is looking pretty good, and tomorrow looks very, very rainy. So, I figure I'm gonna push through today, enjoy little bits of sunshine, and then I will rest day tomorrow. Also, giving myself a little challenge today of drinking all 3 of my water bottles. Because I find when it's rainy and cold, I don't drink enough water. And that's definitely not helping with my fatigue. So today, we hydrate. Is this video just gonna turn into a water drinking montage? Top tier hydration and top tier views, baby! The Cairngorms are absolutely stunning. Majestic birds, old cottages, different hues and plant life, and that ever-present quiet. It's so quiet here. Like, it's just wind and birds and the occasional very distant airplane. So peaceful. At times, the riding is exhausting.
Just keep biking, just keep biking.
But it's so special, I never want to leave. So why not spend a rest day catching up on laundry, snuggled into a cozy hostel? Nailed it. Eventually, though, I must face that it's time to say goodbye. Man, this feels so bittersweet. Today is my last day in the Cairngorms, my last day in the Highlands. I have some big climbs today and then descend out of the mountains. So let's make the most of this last day. The past 10 days in the Highlands have brought me a soggy passport and phone cord, moments of fear, and mental and physical exhaustion. But they've also exposed me to wild stretches of beauty, surprise friends, and a newfound strength and confidence that deep down I knew I had, but the reminder was very much appreciated. The reminder that yes, I can adventure in the wild on my own. And in fact, it's pretty amazing. And just to make sure I really got the message that I've got this, the Highlands throw me one final challenge. Up there, zigga 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 zigga, over that hill.
Oh my god. You know when it's so steep, you're pushing and you can't let go of your brakes so your bike will roll backwards? It's like that. Kamut says it has 16% grades. I believe it.
Oh my god, I think I just made it up the worst of it. I've been pushing my bike for over an hour. Up all of that with just like rocks shifting under my feet. But I did it. One last freaking push indeed, Highlands. Heart pounding and muscles shaking, I make it to the top. And just like that, it's time to begin my bittersweet descent out of the Highlands. I might be leaving these mountains behind, but I know what I've found here will be with me for a long time to come.